Competition of colors and culture. The Ternocon highlights the talent of Filipino designers from various regions. This year, Yssa Inumerable, Gabbie, Sarenas, and Glady Rose Pantua took home the top 3 prizes for their take on the classic Balintawak, a casual version of the terno. They join us now with Ternocon Artistic Director Gino Gonzalez. Well, congratulations first of all to Yssa, Gabbie, and Glady Rose.
Thank you.
How does it feel? Kamusta yung feeling natin that we won this very prestigious competition?
Overwhelmed with joy. It's still a surprise, but overall, I'm really happy.
Absolutely. Winning first place. Congratulations.
Yes,
Gabbie.
I'm still overwhelmed.
It's been 48 hours.
Yes, still trying to take it in. But I'm very thankful for this prestigious honor.
Wow, this is indeed, no? This puts you on a major stage, no? In local fashion design and hopefully international stardom. What about para sa'yo, Glady Rose? Kamusta? You won 3rd place in the Ternocon 3 competition.
Na-surprise. Masaya po. Magandang experience.
Oh, it's a great experience, especially working with Ben Chan, and of course the Cultural Center of the Philippines, and as the artistic director, Gino, to explain to us the Balintawak terno.
Okay.
Why is it called Balintawak?
Okay. Kasi when we think of the terno, we always imagine a very, very formal attire. No? Whereas the Balintawak is still a terno, but it's the country version of the terno, so it's less formal. And it kind of straddles morning and afternoon affairs. So it's a slightly different language. No? It still has the butterfly sleeves, which the terno has, but the Balintawak essentially has an alampay, which is like a soft kerchief, and a tapis, which is really a strip of cloth that is wrapped around the waist, no? For many reasons. So it's functional, and it's normally worn by peasants.
Okay.
In the countryside, like Balintawak.
Like Balintawak. So, the materials for the formal Filipiniana terno is also used for the Balintawak terno?
At some point in history, it kind of merged, no? But initially, the Balintawak was using a lot of local material like renge and pinukpok, no? Which is a kind of abaka textile for the upper garments. And then for the lower garments, the alampay and the tapis, we normally use cotton or printed cotton. So it wasn't about silks, it wasn't about luxurious textiles.
That's right.
In the early part, but later on, with the arrival of Ramon Valera, Salvacion Lim, Higgins, they would introduce formal versions of the Balintawak. So it became evening wear, it became a glamorous attire at some point.
And Yssa, Gabbie, and Glady Rose, elevated the Balintawak terno during this Ternocon 3 competition. So, Yssa, tell me, how did you innovate your terno?
Well, I didn't actually want to innovate the Balintawak, but I wanted to change the narrative and redefine it in another way. So I wanted the Balintawak to be redefined as something that's more revered, valued, respected. Because according to like Sir Gino's lecture, like yung mga Amor Solo paintings, the women, they're always in the rice fields, or it's described as ilaw ng tahanan, mothers.
Yes.
So, and we're more than that now as women in society. So I wanted to redefine it in something that's more updated for today's society.
And it is indeed a very beautiful creation.
Thank you.
That you created for Ternocon 3. Gabbie, what new elements did you introduce into your terno collection?
So we elevated our usual embroideries. We still used a lot of traditional techniques with it, but then again, it's the marriage of the traditional and then the contemporary, but still trying to make use of like handcrafted, with the use of hand embroidery, because it's still technology that we're trying to show to everybody that like piña or artisanal craft is still modern and can be used today.
Also, the great thing about
Yes.
Gabbie's collection is that she turned them into separates. So meaning you have a separate top, you have a separate bottom, you have a separate tapis, which can be worn individually. So it's really for a modern day Filipina.
Are we likely to see these Balintawak ternos of our award-winning fashion designers
Yes.
being used in the everyday workplace?
Well, that's the dream, no? And that's the real purpose of Ternocon, to bring it to the everyday consciousness of the Filipino. No, we were hoping to normalize it in the way the kimono is normalized in Japan, or yeah. So
And of course, for Glady Rose, paano mo na reinterpret yung Balintawak terno in your collection?
I want to use our local fabric na sa Balintawak. Like, gusto ko yung anong meron sa Zamboanga City, like yakan, mga malong. Parang gusto ko makita doon sa Balintawak. Like, hindi lang yung pinya or...
Abaka.
yes, mga ganun po.
if I may explain, because Glady, coming from Mindanao, di ba, was telling us that normally when you say Balintawak, it really just refers to Luzon. So parang what about them, no? So how do they come into the picture? So
She reintegrated
Yes.
the Zamboanga
So she-
culture and the materials
yes,
into the
her
Balintawak
collection.
terno.
Oo.
And what materials did you use, Isa, for your collection?
Well, for my tapis and saya, I used Inabel weave from the Abra region of Ilocos Sur. And for my tops, they are made from Bordang Taal, from Taal, Batangas.
Because of course, Isa, you're from Parañaque,
Yes.
and Gabi, you are from Taytay, Rizal. What materials did you use?
We used piña shifu, piña silk, used kanyamaso, and we used silk linen. So with the silk linen, we had to do the dye for that to match the colors, the antiqueness of the piña shifu.
Was it difficult, Glady Rose, to source materials for your terno?
Yes po, dahil naano ako sir, like pinya lang kasi lagi kong nakikita sa or like kanyamazo. So wala po kaming ganun doon. So gusto ko ipakita yung ang kagandahan ng yakan at kung anong meron kami doon.
Marami bang supply ng yakan sa
Yes, marami
Zamboanga?
po. Yung mga printed nila, marami po.
So tell me, Gino, no? When are we likely to see the ternos of Isa, Gabi, and Glady Rose in international fashion weeks like Paris, New York, or Milan? I mean, we have, apart from elevating it locally, nationally, now we have to bring it overseas, Gino.
Actually, if you look at Instagram now, you see a lot of Phil-Ams wearing, or Filipinexes wearing the terno. So parang it has somehow spread all over the world, no? Before we started Ternocon, when we did Fashionable Filipinas with Mark Louis Higgins, the book on the terno, I was looking at Instagram and doing a hashtag, let's say Philippine dress, Philippine terno. You won't find a single thing. But now, if you put that on Instagram, that hashtag, you will see so many Filipinas here and abroad wearing the terno. So in a way, I think it has somehow brought the terno back to the consciousness of the younger Filipinos.
Yes. We also have, of course, the relevance also, no? Isa, of the terno, not only for the millennials, but also for the Gen Zs. They really, like what you said, your terno was about the narrative, right? So we have to promote it, to the younger generation.
Yes po. Yeah, actually, for my inspiration, it was really, colors were a big factor in my collection. I really wanted to have colors that represented like the Gen Z, and like there's a little bit of like inspiration from K-pop colors. So that's why my collection was really bright and pastel, and it's really just colorful overall.
And Gabbie?
So for us, inspiration took place with the traditional still, traditional, but then marrying with the contemporary. So what is needed now? What will people wear, most likely wear? How can they reverse it? Can they flip it?
Yeah.
Like women today, they want value for money. But at the same time, I mean, they don't just want to wear it in special occasions. So where else can they wear it? So that's what in my mind, like how do we, with the marriage of piña, silk piña, with all these very intricate handcrafted material, how do you introduce it in a way that people can wear it not just for special occasions?
Because before, di ba, parang when you say terno, it's an attire for a ninang.
That's right.
in a
For a formal
wedding.
occasion.
Oo. Or if you're gonna be Reina Elena in a Santa
Yes.
Cruz, no? Or a beauty pageant, di ba? So, I think what they have done along with the other finalists of Ternocon was to somehow take it out of that context and bring it to the present, and then bring it to everyday life. No?
So, Gino, what's next for Yssa, Gabbie, and Glady Rose after this competition?
We were just talking about
Yes.
it. No, because now they have a deluge of inquiries.
Yes.
Oo. So,
Your Viber and your WhatsApp and they must be full of messages.
well, I'm kind of preempting it, but they will be joining Katutubo, which is a kind of bazaar, no, of Filipino design, organized by Bench and Miss Mons Romulo. So their collections will be available there, or
That's
variations.
another venue, no,
Yes,
for them
yes,
to promote
yes.
their.
To make it available and attainable.
Yes, of course, for the retail market.
Yes,
And it's not just on stage and for them winning the
Yes.
competition. No, there
Kasi
also has to
ba,
be a
it's
follow-through.
pointless if it's all on stage.
That's
no?
right.
Because it's just a contest. So it must filter down to real life.
Real
no?
life. But of course, Gino, we also have our international fashion designers, right?
Yes.
Who dress
Yes,
A-listers,
yes, yes.
Hollywood celebrities.
Yes.
Can't they also elevate the terno and put it on one of these Hollywood celebrities? Isn't that also the dream for a
Yes,
A-lister
yes,
Hollywood
yes.
celebrity to be wearing at least a modern
Version of
Version of the
Actually, it's
terno.
been happening na. It started happening already. And I think the world is ready for it. You know, people are more accepting or aware now of what other cultures are doing, and there's more respect for other cultures. I think, so I think it's the right time for it.
And let me ask Glady Rose, no? I mean, what inspired you to become a fashion designer and to join this Ternocon?
Yung bata pa po ako, nakikita ko kasi yung lola ko. The way she embroider her pillowcase, yung blouses niya. So parang gusto kong ganun, gumawa. So yun po yung inspiration ko, yung lola ko.
Ikaw naman, Gabbie, what inspired you to be a fashion designer?
I think when I was 16, I was drawing in the back of my notebooks. It was a math class. So, parang like growing up, I was parang art was there or theater was there. So I grew up in that environment. So with all of that, parang I wanted to fulfill a dream when I was a bit older na, that fashion is really part of me. It really it's something I love to do. It's something I will never retire from doing.
Absolutely. And the dream continues.
Yes, yes.
What about you, Yssa?
Well, I've always been into arts, and I also love history and period movies. So I think I really love fashion overall ever since I was a teenager, and that felt like the right path for me.
And Gino, how did you pool all of these very talented designers for Ternocon? Because they came from across the Philippines, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
That's a difficult question. No?
I mean, just trimming them down, right, to 12 finalists.
Okay. Well, we started kasi with fashioning the terno, which is basically workshops that we take around the country. And then when we first did it in Vegan, I called up Chingay Bernardo, who's the head of the outreach division of the CCP, and I told her, alam mo Chingay, said ko, there are just too many talented people in the regions. It's a tragedy that Manileños and the rest of the Philippines don't see this kind of talent, no? And at the same time, we wanted to bring the terno forward, no? So it's a two-pronged goal, no? So we're also providing opportunities and a stage and a platform for all these emerging designers to be seen by the entire Philippines and the world, no? And at the same time, we're also promoting the Philippine dress. Now, I'm not the only one gathering.
Yes, it's a team.
It's a team, no?
Yeah.
And like for this one, we have mentors in the, like a chief mentor, like Ino Soto. Yeah. We have Dennis Lustico.
Guiding them.
Joey Samson, Chito Enrique Toledo. So we gather people of different sensibilities.
Yes.
Who don't always agree, ha?
Who don't always agree. Yeah. And of course, as a final question for our three grand winners, Yssa, tell us, where do you want to see your career going? What is your dream?
Well, for now, I really just want to design for circularity, and I just want to elevate the Philippine dress to basic clothing.
Gabbie, what's your dream?
Oh, wow.
For your career?
In my career, definitely learning the technical aspect, because making the terno is really, you have to study it well. It's a lot of numbers. I personally, it's a short-term goal for me to learn it step by step and eventually reaching a long-term goal, which is to bring it outside, outside of the Philippines, and for people to be able to to appreciate it.
And Glady Rose, what is your dream?
Yung naano ako sa lectures during Ternocon, lock-in, doon ako naka-interested about sa terno. So, hindi lang wedding gowns or evening gowns. Gusto ko na ngayon may ready-to-wear ako na like blouses, terno, or dresses po na ready-to-wear.
Well, looking forward to all your fashion designs and to your creations to be worn by every Filipina. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word, and congratulations to all of you. Ternocon 3 winners, Yssa Inumerable, Gabbie Sarenas, and Glady Rose Pantua, and Artistic Director Gino Gonzalez.